jump right into our program. So I would like to introduce our speaker for today, Cindy Bedingfield. I'm going to allow her to tell you all about what it is she does and what her program is. Hey.
Great. Well, I had some pictures of different things, but as I was saying, we had evacuees last night, and I left my office key in my office, so I didn't dare call any staff at this time of the day to get it. So you just have me, so I'll just, I've been here 8 years. I was born and raised in Eureka, and then I raised my family and stuff in Southern Oregon, and my parents were getting older, and the job came open, so I came back while they were alive to help take care of Redwood Acres. So I have 4 kids and 9 grandkids, and in November I'll have my first great-grandchild. So I have a big family in Southern Oregon that I will go back to someday. But I was here, gosh, I can't remember when I was here, several years ago, and so you kind of already know a little bit about Redwood Acres, but we lost our funding the year that I came. We lost our funding from the governor, which immediately put us $250,000 in the red. So we've been having to be creative out there and get out of it, and we're close, not totally out, as Ashley probably knows since she works with us a little bit on our books, but we're getting there. So due to that fact, we kind of recreated Redwood Acres to a degree and do a lot of businesses out at the fairgrounds. We still hold 750 event days. We have events out at Redwood Acres, but with all of the events, we still couldn't pay the bills to keep the door open. So we do everything from this weekend monster trucks to weddings to the quilt show, the logging conference, but yet our power bill out at Redwood Acres is typically $28,000 a month. So that's a lot of money to try to make up with just events. So we now house 20 businesses are out at Redwood Acres that are full-time businesses. I'm going to read them to you so I don't forget anybody, and somebody says, you didn't mention my business over there. So we have the boardroom opened this last year, and I don't know if any of you have been out there, but it's great. It's a specialty meat. It's aged meats. That's how they process them, the old-fashioned way, and he just got FDA approval yesterday to actually sell retail. Before then, you can come into the boardroom. It's open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and the meats that he has are prosciutto, coppola, salami, bacon. They make some cheeses out there, and they do boards with wine and beer, and they do board games, and it's really a cool place. We turned a building that made, it was the old arts and crafts building out there, and it made about $6,000 a year, and now it's a full-time business. So I have them out there. I have Trinity Raw. They make raw chocolates. Gobi Gummies. She makes gummy candies. I have Rebel Fitness, which is a gym. These are all in the grandstand. Under the grandstand, we had a whole bunch of space that was nothing. I don't know what it was. A whole bunch of little rooms back in there, and there was nothing in them. So a lot of these kitchens are only 100 square foot, but that's all somebody needs to start out with. And there's a huge need for that. I have a list of probably 6 more businesses that would love to have a little kitchen that size. And what we found out is you guys have 2 businesses here, Mia Bell Cupcakes and Bittersweet. And Bittersweet was Humboldt Slice of Pie, and they started at Redwood Acres, and the cidery is still there. But they started out in 200 or 300 square foot kitchens, which your rent's not real high, so you can get a real solid business. You're cramped. I mean, those 100 square foot kitchens use every space from floor to ceiling, and sometimes the hallway. But when they get big enough to move out, they're a solid business, so that you don't have to start out paying $1,500 a month for rent and don't go under. So anyway, I'll go through. Rebel Fitness is a gym. I have Tacos El Gallo, which is a taco truck. The cidery, if you guys have been out there, we have the first hard Humboldt apple cidery out there, and they just now built their production facility. So they were in the milk barn, and it was a tasting room, and this is the way of growing. That was tiny, so they produce all week, move everything out for Friday and Saturday to turn it into a tasting room, then have to move everything back in to produce their product. So then they expanded enough that now we have a new metal building that they have for their production facility. Ohana Organics. She's aftercare tattoo. She's a body butter. She's from Hawaii. She produces body products, but she tagged it for tattoo aftercare, which now tattoos are everywhere. She does pre-tattoo skincare, so she's now international and nationwide. That went great tagging that way. She started in a little kitchen. She's now in the dormitory, and she took a garden area and she's raising her products there at the fairgrounds that she uses in her thing. So there's an educational facility. Everybody that comes out has to be, I'm the Department of Agriculture, has to be agriculturally related in some way, youth oriented or educational. So they all have to have an educational component with this business and allow tours or be part of some of our events. And so that's kind of the criteria. We have a woodworker that's going to come in, I don't know what his name is. Succulent Bliss, she sells succulents, and she also, we took an area down that it was just a shed cover, and they've turned it into an artisan village. So we have 4 different artists that are turning this little shed into their own funky little place. She also does craft classes in there. We have a Glass Foods, a native plant nursery out there, and a native plant food forest across on the ball field side of our fairgrounds. Nature Joe, he has a reptile center that'll open anytime. It was supposed to open 6 months ago, but he's remodeling it, and you can go through and tour, and he has all kinds of reptiles out there. I don't tour that one very often. He also does nature camps this summer, daily nature camps, and that's been good. Natural Decadence, she's a gluten-free, nut-free, egg-free, dairy-free bakery. She's been with me 5 years. She started in one kitchen. This is her 3rd kitchen she's expanded to. And now she takes up half of the turf club and her building. Ohana moved out of her cubby so they could expand into there. And her sales are on sale track this year to be $2.2 million. So they've expanded crazily. They're all across the United States. They're with Whole Foods. And that started out 2 girls in a tiny kitchen, and it's grown. I think she has over 37 employees at this time.
Could you repeat the name of that?
Natural Decadence.
And just so you know, Natural Decadence is involved in Taste of the Holidays. And has been.
Yeah.
We have Frankie's Bagels. She's been there a couple years, and he is in the tiny kitchen now and has blossomed and expanded till he's got standing orders if he can ever fulfill them. So we're going to expand his kitchen. I have Fusui-Con, which is a martial arts studio out there. I have Rover's Choice, and he took a byproduct from redwood meats, smokes them, or smoked dog bone business, and he's down all the way into Southern California now. He's been there about 4 years and took the bones from redwood meats that they had to pay to dispose of, comes back, and his facility is crazy, old refrigerators, whatever. He smokes in whatever can be smoked in out there, but he's doing great. Turtle Mountain Designs, he is a custom woodworker, and then we now have a salvage yard out there. Businesses that had been here that have expanded into the community are Hum Yum Candies. She does caramels. She's in a lot of stores now. Edible Melodies, Slice of Humboldt Pie, and Mia Bella Cupcakes. So they came and were little. Mia Bella Cupcakes Bittersweet, I think they have 30-some employees, and I talked to Mia Bella, and she has 8 over here. So it's a successful way to do it with the teeny tiny kitchens that aren't necessarily comfortable or very fancy for you, but moving forward. So someone asked the other day, how many businesses start at Redwood Acres that have failed, and we have none. There's been none that have come and that are not still there or have gone into the community somewhere. Oh, let's see. So that's kind of what we're doing at Redwood Acres. We're still in the red, but we're getting out of the red. It's a juggling act. It's been great with the community. Some of the community members at the beginning carried us 90 to 100 plus days on bills, knowing that our money comes between May and August. We get almost 80% of our funds probably come at that time. Now, not so much, now that we've got the businesses. So we're kind of there. We have, in this year, the pictures I was bringing our upcoming projects that we're planning. we're in the Coastal Commission, so for us, we need to remodel what we've got there rather than rebuild, because it's hard to get through all the processes to add anything to your property when you're in the Coastal Commission. So we have a cow palace out there now that is just used for storage, and then during fair we use it for livestock, but we'll use tents for that. So our plan is to turn that into small businesses. And then we have an area in the back that we're hoping to do a RV park that will be all set up with, and this year was a good trial for us. It'll be set up with holding tanks and generators and stuff. So in a natural disaster, all the pedestals will still be live, and it can be used for a facility for if we have a big earthquake or a tsunami or something around here. So that's kind of a quick rundown of what we do at Redwood Acres.
We have a few minutes to ask her questions, and I would assume there's probably a few questions.
Yeah, how's the greenhouse project doing?
The greenhouse is up and running. I don't think it's being facilitated as we had planned. You know, there's not so much education going on, and they were going to do farmers markets and stuff out there. But I think with all the retirements that went on at that time, and then the teacher that was going to take on that project decided she didn't want it. They're still kind of floundering around to find when it's as planned. There will be a farmers market out there. The kids will go and learn from beginning to end how to market your product and utilize the teaching in a hands-on project, but that hasn't quite formulated yet. So we're hoping.
Good.
With that, the garden that's out there, what's the garden?
The garden, when I first came there, I saw an overhead picture and there was a pond out there, and I thought, oh, let's put the pond back in. And as we started pulling stuff out, we ended up going to the dump, 32 trips to the dump, I think, and there was old mattresses and everything down in there. And then once we began, and the board saw that also runs into Ryan Slough, we had to continue. I wanted to just cover it back up once I saw what a mess we covered up. But I got a SNAP grant for SNAP education, and we put in a garden out there, and that's, we've utilized it for a lot of youth Top Chef competitions where they come and they, we put in the garden with Monty, with Native Plant Nurseries, and then a lot of the community groups come in and put the garden in. They come out and they can use their telephone for recipes, and it's a competition with junior high through high school kids. They cook in the garden. We have induction burners. They cook in the garden. They have to do nutritional values and glean something from there and something from the Native Plant Nursery to cook and input it. And other than that, it's been used for gleaning. A lot of the Coast Guard families come and pick from there, so anybody can come. It's a community garden. The Rose Society put a big rose garden out there.
If you haven't seen it, it's huge.
And it's amazing, it's beautiful, and it wasn't. And then we put the pond back in. We have it filtered, so when it gets down to Ryan Slough, the water's, because that's the runoff for all of Redwood Acres. So as we go down, by the time you get into the creek, it's pure water again. So we also have a catchment system on 2 of our roofs that catch the rainwater. And so what a fairgrounds is, to me, should be the hub of the community. And what it used to be was where you showcase the new and the best of the best, and people could come out and see. So what we've offered it up to is people that want to do recycling or whatever, to bring out what their ideas are and implement it out there, even in a small scale, so the community can come and see possibilities that you could do your house. Our water thing, even just with the little bit of water that gets on the roof from the fog and stuff, is never empty. Our tank is just from gathering. We're only gathering off, it's either 20 or 40 foot off of one side of a roof, and it's always full.
Do you have any fire evacuees staying there?
I do. I have 8 right now from, all of them are from Weaverville, Douglas City area. And then we have what we do is we set up our barns with water tanks and stuff so people can come drop their cattle and everything off. So we have a lot of people on standby that have called to see if it gets to that point, and they'll just come drop everything off over there and we'll water it. And at that point, Schmidbauer always brings loads of, we have chips out there now to put into horse stalls and different things, and then we'll put out to the community, and they usually bring straw, hay and stuff out to feed the animals. So we do have a few.
So we'll get the contact info from you. For
And
all
I
this.
do have from CAL FIRE, the locals over in the sheriff's office, and several phone numbers there that had me call, because I have a lady that has rabbit pens and places for rabbits and somebody for chickens and stuff, because I can't take the small animals at all. But it's perfect.
Well, thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
So, thank you for speaking, and we've made a donation to the wheelchair program in your name, and there's a certificate. So,
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.